Hi there, and welcome to the second of June's series of top tips, this week brought to you by Plan C. My name's Dominic, and I'm joined by my colleagues Karen and Rob, and together we're going to talk you through some of the ideas that we have that will help you with different aspects of your business. First of all, a bit of background. Plan C is all about helping local SMEs to get through these tough times. What we've done is we've pulled together a team of like-minded professionals, and between us we aim to offer top-line solutions to your most pressing problems. Different from other bits of advice that are floating around, what we do is we ask you to tell us specifically what challenges you're coming up against, and we put together a bespoke solution for them. Some of the areas we cover: accounting, PR, HR, we look at business planning, social media. We can help with website design and build, branding, project management, Google Ads, marketing and sales. Hopefully most of the key areas that you'll be facing challenges with during these tough times. The team, just to introduce them, myself, Dominic from the Hats Off Partnership. We have Karen from Ethos Metrics. We've got Rob from Video Creative. Not joining us today, but the people who've contributed: Claire from Different HR, Mark at Supersonic Marketing, Jackie at Jackie Mitchell PR, Natalie at Sign Accountants, and Simon Staveley, who works on some of our project challenges. So let's get started. Let's start with our top tips, just some general ones to begin with. First off, looking at websites. I think it's fair to say that over the past couple of months, the high street has not been open, and therefore your website is now more important than ever. This is a great time, especially if unfortunately you're not as busy as you were, to take a fresh look at it and see, as far as you're concerned, if it's up to scratch. Does it match your brand? Basically, if you're not happy with it, there is only one solution: get it changed, and now's a great time for that. An outdated website says all the wrong things about you as a business, even if it's 2 years old. I know that's nothing in the big scheme of things, but in the digital world, that is an absolute lifetime. If you haven't touched it for 2 years, I'm afraid it's out of date. Unsecure websites, another problem. They damage everything from your SEO performance through to your customer security and the confidence it gives your customers. You should have a security certificate for your website. Is it mobile friendly? Time and time again, you see websites on mobiles where you have to pinch the screen to expand it. It has to be mobile friendly. Over 60% of online activity is now on mobile, and your website needs to be able to react to that. Social channels, again, just top line. Have a look at them. They may look great, but does your website look as good? Turn it on its head. Your website looks amazing, but do your social channels match up, and do they do you justice? Some more headlines. Advice: keep your clients close, even if you're not trading, even if you're doing nothing at the moment. Keep them close to you, keep communicating, keep talking to them. You've got to talk to them all the time, because guess what? If you're not, you're guaranteed that somebody else will be. Second category, let's have a look at targeting in terms of who you want to talk to as a business. Now is the time when most of us are preparing our brand, our company, our service for what will be the new normal. And we're still trying to work out what that's going to be, but we know that it's going to be very different from before. So again, now, take a bit of time out. Take some time out to define your brand. Have a look what you stand for. What do you offer your customers? Why should they buy for you? Why shouldn't they go to your competitors? And overall, what value do you bring to your customers in terms of the transactions that you're looking to do with them? Always think STP. This is a tip from Mark at Supersonic. STP. Segment. Have a look at the segments within your market that you want to talk to. You can't reach everybody, so look at them and see which ones are the most valuable. Advice: focus on 2 or 3 of those segments. Don't target everybody that breathes. You will fail. It just dilutes your marketing message. And finally, make sure you have a clear position on your product or service against those targets, and you're telling people what you can offer and what you can give to them as a business that promotes a product or a service. Rob, over to you.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Dominic. So I'm Rob from Vinegar Creative, which is branding, design and digital agency, and these are a few of my tips to help you rank your website a little bit higher. Next slide, please, Dominic. So yes, perfect. Yes. So a great thing to get your website up on Google is backlinks. These are links from other people's sites to your site. So this could be you've written a guest blog that's posted on someone else's site, and then you link to their link back to your website. It could even be done on business directories, sort of things as Yale.com, Google My Business, all these different sites, same as LinkedIn or social media sites, will have a place where you can add your website. You add that and obviously it will click to your site. So obviously great, will give you some really strong backlinks and will improve your overall SEO. Tip 2 is the speed, at which speed your site uploads. So obviously when you go to download, when you go to a site, the faster your page loads on the screen is much better for Google, and also really important for the user. No one likes to be waiting for a site to download. So it's really important to make sure that images need to be high enough res so they look good, but not too high that they take ages and ages to download. And it's the same with videos as well. I personally would upload my videos to something like YouTube or Vimeo, and then you can embed them so they'll be hosted on those sites, and they'll play through that site onto your site. So your speed of the site is really important. And the third tip is content. Google loves content, so really do as much blogging as you can, lots of information, lots of top tips, infographics. If you get press coverage, put that on your site, and make sure everything you put on your site, you're using your keywords, and you're adding it, and then you're posting it again. Everything you write on the site, you should post again on social media. So bringing people back from social media back to your site, and then literally adding more content all the time. It's great for Google, and it's great for customers and users for your site to keep coming back and reading all the new content, and building a relationship with them. So yeah, they're my 3 top tips. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Rob. That's great. Are you going to talk to us a bit about your people as well?
Yep, perfect. Yep. So these tips are from Ditton HR, and this one thing was saying, remember this tough time, the emotions about keeping people happy in these tough times. There's another silent there. Okay, so I think the big thing here was about to be open-minded and be very flexible when dealing with people and employees. It's really important to keep them on track and keep them happy, and make sure with the way when people are returned to work, you have flexible working relationships and flexible working plans, whether that's a couple of days in the office or a couple of days at home, and really work with your team to make sure you can work with them and achieve goals moving forward. Obviously, it's really important to make sure your staff, you think about their mental health and think about their well-being, and obviously treat everyone how you'd like to be treated, and make sure everyone's happy, as Dominic said, coming back to the new normal.
Thanks, Rob. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Karen, over to you.
Sorry, I was muted there. Wanted to talk to you about Google Ads, and just a few tips if you're thinking about running Google Ads or you're already running Google Ads. One thing to remember, which sounds obvious but people don't always think about, is that Google makes money from clicks. Google makes money when somebody sees your ad, when they type something into the search engine and they click and go through to your site. However, you don't make money from clicks. You make money when you actually sell things, whether someone buys from you after filling in a form on your website, or whether someone buys something directly from your website. And a lot of people make the mistake when they're running Google Ads of thinking that more clicks are better or a higher click-through rate is better. Those things don't actually matter. What matters is how many sales you're making. And it's worth having a healthy skepticism when you're running a Google Ads account, because not all of Google's recommendations will be in your best interest. So you need to focus on the changes that will generate leads and sales for you, not on the number of clicks. So if you're thinking about running Google Ads and you're not already, the questions you need to ask yourself: one, are you allowed? Because there's certain industries and services which are not allowed to promote through Google Ads. A lot of people also don't check whether or not there's enough people looking for what they're selling. So if you're selling something very new, then there might not be enough search volume to justify running Google Ads. Also, if you're running in a very small local area, Google Ads might not work for you. Is your website good enough? If you're trying to run a Google Ads account, you can buy as many of the right clicks as you like. But if you send them to your website and people immediately bounce because your website needs a bit of work, then you need the help from someone else in our team to actually get that website up to scratch. And finally, have you crunched the numbers? Clicks can cost anything from pence up to £50. So if you don't know how much clicks are worth in your industry, and you don't know how many of those clicks are going to turn into business for you, you don't know whether or not you're going to make any money. So that was that on Google Ads. Let me talk a bit about communications. So these are slides here from Jackie Mitchell. So when you're thinking more broadly about how you communicate during this time, The key thing is, as with everything, is to have a plan. We can't focus on everything at once. There's just not enough hours in the day for the average business to be communicating through every channel equally. So we need to think about what your key channels are and to structure a plan that is going to make sure that people think of you immediately, that you're front of mind whenever they're considering connecting with a business. So a PR agency like Jackie's can help with raising your business profile to do that. Great. And as we've already said, keeping in touch with your customers at the moment, it's so important. It's obvious, but people do need to hear from you right now. Things are changing. They need to know whether or not you're open, or if you're planning to open, what you're doing, whether or not you're selling products online, or if there's stock issues. And all of the channels that you have available, you need to think about the right ones to reach your customer. So there are certain social media platforms which would be great for reaching a business audience, perhaps LinkedIn. There are others that would be better for a consumer audience, such as Facebook or Instagram, or if it's a young audience, some of the newer platforms. Obviously, email marketing, advertising. So there's a whole broad range of channels you can use, and it's about deciding on the best ones that are going to work for you at this current time.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Karen. Thanks, Rob. That's fantastic.
Pleasure.
Thanks very much for watching the video. There's a lot in there, and we've gone through it at quite a pace. I think if I had to pull out some headlines, I think from a Plan C point of view, we are here to help businesses. We operate within the Surrey area, so we're very relevant for RH networking. What we offer is free headline help and solutions to your most pressing challenges. It's as simple as that. You can get in touch with us through the website, yourplanc.co.uk. In terms of what we just talked about, as a takeout, I would probably focus on 3 or 4 things. One, now is a great time to check all your assets, your website, your social media, how you communicate with people. Take some time out, get a friend, get a family member to have a look at it, and just do a sense check to check it still works for you. Check that you're targeting the right people. When we come out of the back of this, are you still going to want to talk to the same people as you did before? And if you do, are you using the right channels? Keep communicating, keep talking to your customers. Even if you're not trading at the moment, keep talking to them, keep them as close as possible. And if you are looking at paid for advertising, Google Ads is a great way of doing it, but it does have its pitfalls and it does need expert advice. Once again, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it. And we look forward to hearing from some of you.